Yep.
So,
that's what. 22?
Almost. Yeah.
Yeah, 20 till. So, you guys have money in Kitty Gun Shop. You guys have the list.
Right.
I'm going to leave the list here.
Mm-hmm.
So, if there's anything from the list that you guys really want, the amulets are quite expensive.
Yeah, I have to ask some questions though, because there's of course not like direct corollaries between that and things that I'm aware of.
Okay. All of the rituals there, unless there's a note on the right hand side, are named the same as they would be. So you can easily look them up. The ones that aren't, for instance, Greater Primal. What's the near the bottom? Greater Primal. Something.
We have so much money.
Because I would have fucking summoned a snowstorm.
You're a special girl.
Greater
and by
Primal
special,
Prism?
I mean writing.
Like for instance, things
With
like
the
Greater.
helmet?
Hang on. Okay. Things like Greater Primal Prison. It's Primal Prison with one exception, and the exception's on there.
Okay.
No
Generally
size
speaking,
limits.
right. So generally speaking, there's just a little bit of change, and all of the items with focuses. For instance, the Summon Snowstorm needs the Staff of Winter. He can sell you the focus, but you have to buy the focus separately.
Okay.
So the price in there does not include.
Right.
Batteries not included. Right.
Guys, the main thing that I was looking at is the ritual to get to the veil.
There's a...
Yes.
It doesn't actually, the ritual doesn't actually get you to the veil?
What?
Oh,
Which one is it?
Well, it disappears in
Access
Shining
astral
City.
weak point.
Oh.
No.
Yeah, we don't
Yes, there
really
is
want
one-
to appear
Hold
on
on,
the
what does it
show.
say?
There is one of
Oh,
them.
there's one that gets you to Shining City.
There's one that'll allow you to
Sorry.
astral project to the Shining City.
Uh-huh.
And there's another one that'll allow you to use weak points in the veil as a portal.
Crossovers.
I know, as a portal to get you from one place to another. Basically, it's the spell that the teleporter.
Oh,
that,
okay, the gateway.
That the Wendell used.
Dude.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, that's
If you
cool,
don't have
but
a
that's
problem
not
with
as
it-
cool as
we were hoping.
straight up going to the veil. Veil.
If
like,
you don't have a problem with it,
it's
I'm going to go into
wormhole
more
generator.
detail personally on the dice
Mhm.
and then give it to you.
I would love to have it. Anything you want to guys put more detail on is great. I would have normally been much more up for like talking in character, doing a lot of individual stuff, but since we had so much talking to get done through, like to get get through today, I actually really wanted to finish up getting through Kidikon's encounter.
That's part of the reason why I was like, my character went off to do other things, because I knew I would talk a lot.
Right. So the encounter. Hang on, let me just finish real quick.
Okay.
The encounter itself with Kidokon. If you guys have anything extra that you want to say, we can use in a summary for when we start next time. Go ahead and do that. Is there anything else you guys need to do in town?
No, just basically find a guide to. Well, we were gonna go hunting for the bars, but now we actually have a
Hiwi
dude that
will
we can
tell
find.
you that she
Yes.
is meeting with the guard tonight.
Right. So Kiwi is actually meeting with Aaron tonight.
So basically, he can take us to.
Yeah.
He says
She
he
has
can
all
take
the
you guys to Poggle
Hey,
if you
yeah,
want.
because Hiwi was going to tell you guys, hey, there's this guy that apparently talked or fought with a Bobarge, so I wanted to go talk to him because he acts kind of strange. But now we're like,
Well, I
well,
think you guys
we
mostly
know
just
why.
fluked into meeting
All the right people.
Yeah.
all of the people from the marsh. The only person that you didn't specifically go to that would have been a marsh person was the smithy. But yeah.
Okay, that's fine.
Oh, no, just a hair.
So finish up the thing with Kidokon, partially because it's starting to hurt my voice to talk like that. So make the deal with him. We can do the specifics of the deal next time. Basically, what it's going to be is he keeps the thing, he gets to study thing, he will give you the stuff back. He's going to ask before you guys leave that when he gives you his research notes on the item, that you give him a much more detailed explanation of how you guys got about it, where you got the crystal, how the spell got put into it. Basically, he wants the whole background so he can complete his notes on the research thing. He's going to give you the money for the necklaces, and I want you to count it as 11,000 per.
Okay.
Okay. Now is that counting the
That's
3,000?
That's the amount of money he wants us to have from it.
That was
That's
the...
the total.
Okay.
11,000 per.
So 40. We had 55,000. Is what we ended
So
up with.
60,000 total.
We have 60,000 total.
Okay.
No, don't even give me a look on, well, we have to be thrifty and we have to, conserve the money that we have.
Now that we're in a city,
We have
this is what we're blowing up.
60,000
I do have to say
dough.
that's going to be
Yeah,
a hard
but-
sell, by the way.
Well, here's
What
the
else are we
problem.
gonna
Now,
spend
see,
it on?
we can't take this to
Yeah.
the bank.
No, here's my thing, is I don't mind, but the problem is, you tend to take like 50% of it. I would like to hear if there's anything else other people would like.
Oh,
Yeah,
don't
we
worry,
can
you have
discuss.
someone else
looking-
that can do magic now.
Well,
Deal
no,
with
after
the biggest
looking
ticket items
because
we
of
need
the
to
thing-
purchase are rituals.
No,
Like,
I can do
and,
rituals
I
now
and
will
you're a
too.
ritual
I was gonna
caster as
say-
well.
The way rituals work, you guys don't have to double up. Like, you guys can basically effectively share amulets.
Yeah.
One thing that I do
Which
need...
is what you know when I see something
One
shiny.
thing that I will
can
point
do that.
out is there are a lot of kind of, high heroic type items that you guys can pick up. I really want you guys to actually look at your character, see what slots you either have stuff that is auto upgraded. So if you've got +2 magic armor, for instance, look through some of the +2 and +3 armors, see how much they cost, see what you like in those, and see if you can pick something up. Because
That's what
you guys,
I want.
when you guys enter Paragon, part of the reason that I've given you guys this much money and kind of
I gotta get some
made a
rings.
point of giving you guys lots and lots of money is so that you guys can gear up for Paragon. The beginning of Paragon is going to be fairly difficult, so just make sure that you
We
guys
are the little guys on the block again.
right.
Yeah.
So just make sure that you when you go to buy stuff that you actually are buying the right
That
things.
is why I want everyone to kind of have a say before
Since
we
you
just
probably
go.
know a lot better. Are
"Here's
there actual
30,000
magic
gold for
items
rituals."
that like will increase a stat?
Increase a what?
A stat?
No,
Stat? No.
No.
Those are.
That doesn't exist. It's all they're all math fixes and special abilities.
Yeah, basically it's math fixes, the specific things to raising a defense,
Yeah.
and then little abilities that get tacked onto different things.
Yeah,
Roll
there's
an
no
extra
more, there's
something
no
on when you do
more
something.
+2 to strength. Oh,
Oh no, I'm
flat
looking to boost my con
The only thing that I will say, and as far as
further.
this is the way that I'm designing this system to function, not really a forcing on you guys. If you all pick up something intentionally of lower level, because you know it'll auto level with you, I'm going to have you guys keep it at low level. So basically, if you pick up for instance, Rhythm Blade. Rhythm Blade functions at +1 just as well as it functions as +6 as far as the property of it.
Right.
If you pick up a +1 Rhythm Blade because you don't need it to be higher level, it's not going to level with you guys. So if you basically
Try to cheat the system.
if you game the system by buying lower level stuff because you know it's going to level with you, I'm
not
It's
gonna
not
not
going to
gonna-
level it with you. Because just don't game the system.
Now,
like,
if
I'm
we
giving you
buy-
guys the money so you can buy stuff at
hold
level.
on. The benefit of a +1 rhythm blade,
Is +1 to ACE and reflex.
right. I mean, a +6, I'm going to get +6 to attack, but I don't have to attack, especially if my other weapon's a +6.
Right.
Okay, so it's
the Rhythm Blade. The Rhythm example is a reason that is one of the ones that makes sense to buy the level 1 version. If
right.
you're not casting through the item. But what I'm trying to say is, if you try to buy a Staff of Winter, for example, to use as a ritual focus, you can buy the +1 Staff of Winter, but it will never be anything but the +1 Staff of Winter.
Right.
Well,
Actually, I don't know if it goes
to
to
be
+1. I think
anything.
it needs to be +2, but that's not the point.
I don't need it to
If-
be anything more than
if,
that. I don't
however,
use staves anyway.
Our weapons right now
Look, I
are
did a
automatically
multiple
what
of that.
+2.
I'm clever.
Everything you have on you is automatically +2, unless you are currently wielding something that's better.
Right.
Like,
Like
we
the
have at least
Crackhammer
2,
and-
There's
3
a
plus
really
3s.
expensive
I have a
flute
+3,
I want to get.
We have 4 +3s in the group.
Now, if we
actually,
buy
most of-
something that
yeah.
is,
That's
It's an awesome flute.
these 4.
if we buy something that is +2, would that level up?
Yes. Basically, if you buy something of your, like if you buy something that's current, it'll level with you perfectly
Or
fine.
right- or
Just
right
don't
around
game the
that
system
level.
by buying a level 1. That's
Right.
it.
I was gonna say, or if it's like, well, we're level 9 and this is level 7 and level 12, we're not gonna buy the level 12. We're gonna go for the level 7. So
it levels up every 5 levels.
How much higher is like the next level of the preservation shield? Because I
Actually-
saw it's like preservation shield, heroic, and
I actually
So-
don't know if there is a Paragon level of the
Oh.
Preservation Shield.
so it might be interesting.
But if you want to spend money as far as, getting the
Boosting
Preservation
it up.
Shield now better,
Actually, you know what I want to do?
I wouldn't
Shoot
mind
lightning.
making you a Paragon level
If
of the
there is one.
Preservation Shield.
Yeah,
I'm fairly
fucking
certain that there
awesome.
is not a Paragon level 1.
Okay.
Now that
That's one of the
you've
builds
paid
for
your
the-
basically But remember to mark
The
down that you
staggering
paid
now.
an effectively piddly amount of gold
Pocket change.
to
It was.
to the Taliqua.
I say lightning because.
In order, now
I
your
really-
shields basically function
I can
as
think of
one.
more awesome,
Alright,
but
so
I
it's-
don't
it's-
think it actually has a function.
Life shield of hammer.
A lot of
Right.
your stuff has
So it's
lightning,
basically the
thunder,
same thing for both
lighters.
shields,
Yeah.
So
but it's still going to
matching that
magically
direction
function
and having
as
the
if you have to
weapon
switch it
that
out.
Yeah.
So it's going to be a preservation shield until
Honestly,
you use the magic
prismatic
property, and then it
was
will become the hammer
beautiful
shield.
back in the day.
Oh, okay.
So basically, it's like two overlapping magics. Once you expend the first one, the second one will take effect.
pop in
Can I
first.
switch them though?
He wants the hammer shield first, I think.
Right. Could I just walk in with a hammer shield and then deactivate the hammer shield to cast the buff?
I would say it would take you a full turn of not having anything if you wanted to switch it the other way around. So I would say default, it's the preservation shield. If you want to switch it to the hammer shield, say, hey, I'm starting this with the hammer shield on, and then at some point during the fight you want to use it as the preservation shield, it's going to take you
Standard action?
a standard action
standard
to switch it over and use the preservation shield. Normally, preservation shield takes a minor action, I believe.
Minor.
So if you want to reverse it, since I'm giving you basically two shields in one, bump it up to a standard action. Means typically you're not going to want to do it that way, but you still have the option to. And we are basically at the end of the time. So at the end of each one of my sessions, again, this is partially for the podcast, but also partially for the people that are here. I try to do a little bit of feedback. Basically say, hey, is something you liked, something you disliked in the encounter. I know at least one person in here who didn't like the fact that you didn't get to kill anything. But
I had fun with the thing though.
the skill challenge? Okay. So what do you guys think? Anything you especially liked or especially disliked about the thing?
Night
Rage.
out drinking was great.
Rach, since I started this way with the introductions.
I did like my skill challenge. That was fun.
I kind of like doing it as a skill challenge rather than as a...
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
straight
like a
combat kind of might have been a
combat,
little boring. Oh, dice rolly.
It was interesting.
Okay. So, Chunk, you really like the night out drinking?
Drinking was fun. Meeting the Kronk was interesting.
I like her.
She's cool. If we had started the game here, we'd spend a lot more time, but now we just have so much more shit going on that, I mean, it's great, and I kind of want to stay, but we just got so much shit going on, we gotta move, and that kind of sucks.
Yeah, all of the bigger cities are designed to be...
Quest hubs.
Well, kind of the quest hubs, but there are a lot of the stuff in the bigger cities basically
It's the
changes depending on what you guys like, your goals. And then there's lots of other people that want to help you with your goals, but also get something back in return. Kind of like the guys that picked up Jack. Yeah, they were helping Jack and they were getting Jack to do something, but that was because there was something in it for them, and lots of opportunistic stuff in the bigger cities. So,
Worked out really well that we kind of bumped into all the people
Oh,
who were
me too.
useful for the stuff we were looking for.
well, you had
we had all the pieces in place is the thing.
Right.
Yeah.
she had the two of them had Nav in their backstory, so you got to learn a little bit about Kalinta that way. And then Aaron is one of the only out of work Rarens in the city, so he's one of the only people that they could pick up to look at a dice game and actually pay money for it. And you guys do a good job of investigating, going, oh, well, what's this?
He's interesting and strange and different. Let's go poke at him with a stick.
Yeah, pretty much.
Alan?
Maybe we'll have to distract him.
Alan feels guilty that he carries the spotlight so much.
Which, to be fair, was just today. Like,
Yeah, I didn't realize that was going to end with it having been a spotlight, but
so I will let you know as far as the Paragon Pass reveals. You know, yours has been kind of partially done, and now that's the completion of yours. And so we now have Chunkus is completely done, and yours is completely done, and a couple other people that are partial. I don't know if we're going to get... one of the things I did want to bring up about Paragon Pass, while I don't think you guys will be affected by it, basically everyone gets their Paragon Pass at the same time. So, if you guys get to level 11 and you guys still have a Paragon setup to do, nobody gets them until the last person gets it. So if you guys get all the way through and everyone in the group has one, but Iris's Paragon Path isn't done yet, then no one will get it until Iris gets it, and then everyone will get it all at once. Now, I'm going to make Sam immune to that rule, because she's kind of already done her setup and her backstory, and also, we just don't have the time, and it wouldn't be fair to the group to have to wait on her.
She was introduced very late in the game.
Right.
Yeah.
So,
but yeah, playing Jack drunk is always fun. Like, it's always there's so much opportunity.
I would have to say from my perspective, I was perceiving that the choice to roll the handful of dice of being an obvious, I don't want to say a cheat, but being obviously not a normal dice roll, I thought was actually going to be a harder choice. It was cool to see something that I perceived was going to be difficult, just tossing. It was
You assume Jack has
in
a
certain
different set of
in
morals
certain
than you have.
situations, Jack is very easy for me to be like, you know what, I don't want to do this, but he's not going to think twice about it.
Right.
Like the whole, like if there's 4 guys that are like, no, there's this table and there's even bigger money. Oh, that sounds like a great idea. Like, because that's Jack, and so I'm sitting here like, I'm gonna lose us so much gold, and
So my
everybody's gonna be
character's
pissed.
sitting here like, oh my god.
So,
But onward we go, and it worked out, which was awesome. But,
so Sam,
Um,
I know you didn't get to play.
I
as
know
much
it took
because-
a little bit to get there. It was all good. I didn't mind that. Because as once we finally got in the city, I kind of realized that what was when they got to talking about the talking to the magic shop, I kind of realized that my character probably should have been introduced the second night they were here, because if I go with them, he's gonna talk a lot.
Well, I mean, it's
But at the same time, I was glad that I got introduced and I got to do all this, because I know Huey, and okay, she's cool. I mean, I probably learned a couple songs off of her. Definitely got a good story off of her. These guys are bug fucking insane. This is gonna be awesome. So I mean, you definitely pulled in my character's interest very well, just letting them be their psychopathic selves. And so I really liked it, and I really liked getting to watch Jack step into
Just be
what you and I, and now out of character, they're gonna know was my character back before he started adventuring. So
when
it's
she set up her
interesting.
character, it was very similar to Jack initially, and then when we did session 0, it evolved into something very different. But I think it's going to be a great dynamic with the two of you guys working
Like,
together.
you're the new gambler getting a taste for it, and I'm the old hand that's, as I warned you in our conversations, had some consequences.
Unless
So-
you win every time.
Hazel?
No, even that can have consequences, just not as bad.
Huey
Depends who you win against.
Huey was her normal self. She likes dealing with all the little kids and kind of just flopping around, and of course she's
I was glad to get
Not
that theory
very-
too, by the way.
Well, I thought the you guys haven't talked about it because again, it's been a long time since the beginning of the game, and we've actually gotten a ton done this session.
Yeah.
So the initial conversation with Termer was something that's more directed towards Huey, because that was last session should have been it was, but should have been more Huey's time in the spotlight. And I was interested to see your reactions to him, because he's doesn't have the same opinion on life as you guys do.
and
But I was kind of glad to, with my introduction, that I was telling a story to all these kids and stuff, because I know Huey likes children, and I figured she'd feel that was a really awesome thing.
Huey was like,
That, I also kind of wanted to offer up a bit of an apology to Hazel for nearly killing her character while she was asleep. I felt really bad about that.
So Sean, last up.
I mean, I had my general amount of fun. I'm trying not.
It's bad.
Hold on. I'm
What is
trying.
that tone of voice?
I am trying not to be the whiny a-ho,
Mm-hmm.
and
But
be
you're
like,
gonna be the one.
you
Yeah,
know,
he's gonna do it anyway.
all right,
Oh,
fine.
He
Here we
didn't
go.
get to do a lot of stuff this game.
That's
Like,
true.
He didn't.
Right. And I mean, part of
but
it
apparently
was
we get to pick up the sprite equivalent
I have
of
been
your
slightly
of the
distracted
Saul
today.
from the North.
okay. I will concede that, but yeah, on the other part. And I'm trying not to fall into whole general, oh, well, here's something else I want to change about my character.
Since these days are pretty much
But-
for playing here, I'm gonna put my mini in.
Let him
there.
You know, it's like there are places like, oh, hey, I want to talk, and everybody else is talking. and oh hey, this is cool interaction with another sprite that seems kind of odd, and everybody else is jumping into stuff, and I really don't care about we're only turning in one token and not 4. Or hey, let's hold back or be careful with the Nambian crystal, or this and that. I don't know. I kind of wish there was a little bit more there for my character.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, or that I could have jumped on more. But I'm not mad at anybody else. And
Well, what in particular do you think would have improved that situation? I mean, and this is not me, calling you out.
Yeah.
It's the part of the reason that we're doing this is
No, no.
Hey, would you like? If you get to something you don't like, let's work
No,
out
no.
how we can either improve it at the table or how I can.
This is again being, trying not to be the whiny bitch and being passive aggressive about it. Yeah, it's nice to see the spotlight on other people, and I can be cool and wait my time.
I guarantee you will kind of piss yourself when you get to your turn in the spotlight. So, part of the disadvantage to doing, and again, if you're listening on the podcast, the way that I run the games is typically one player will have a bit more of the time in the sun. For this session, it was Jack and Cade having a lot more time in the sun than everyone else.
Or Jack Smith.
Or Jack Smith. And then last session, it was Huey. The session before, it was Chunkus. And, it kind of alternates through. So the advantage of it is that everyone gets one amazing session. The disadvantage of it is, if you've had your session a while ago, for instance, Chunk, who's, gone through this, or Jack, since he's had his one session today, we're probably not going to get around to having a big spotlight on Jack for another 5 or 6 sessions. So,
unfortunately, Huey was not around for hers.
So,
I wasn't here.
yeah, I will say that you will definitely. Next session
I
will be
might
much more
recall
evenly
that
spaced as far as who's in the spotlight. And there will be a
I didn't
your
realize
spotlight.
that was gonna
Your
happen.
spotlight is probably going to be the longest spotlight of anyone in the group. So yours
Don't
is
worry,
probably going
Sean.
to take up
You'll
2
get to be
sessions.
the diva too. You get to wear the crown someday.
Well, we interrupted him a lot this week. I know I did it a couple of times. It's like, and I became conscious of it, but at that point it happened so many times that.
It's kind of something group needs to work on as a whole.
Yeah, we probably do need to work on interrupting people, especially like. I'm not trying to be the passive aggressive whiny bitch, but it should not take me a long time to get everyone's attention. It should be, hey guys, this is what needs to happen. I know you guys are having your side stuff, and it's great. It's really good character development. I don't want to make it sound like you guys shouldn't have your side conversations, because in this game in particular, all the side conversations that I overheard were all in character,
Right.
which is exactly what I want. Like,
Right.
that's exactly the thing that just, I get tingles when I hear that, Jack and Chunk is having their little powwow on one side while I'm doing something over here, knowing that powwow is about, what Jack and Chunkus are doing and not about the Kuehl thing that we watched earlier. it is awesome. It's really very immersive. It makes me feel like you guys are actually, in the game world and hopefully enjoying your characters. But we do need to get better on, when it is time that people need to take their turns and talk, that we're able to take turns and talk. So, it's right after 2, so we're going to be ending up the session, and I'm going to hopefully be posting this podcast at some point. So I'm going to turn off the thing. If everyone would, everyone say goodbye and good night.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.
All right.